In ancient Egypt, the Israelites suffered as slaves for centuries, their cries for freedom echoing across the endless sands of the desert. Day after day, they toiled under the harsh sun, building monuments for Pharaoh, their backs bent beneath the weight of oppression. The sound of their sorrow and longing for deliverance rose up, carried by the wind, a desperate plea for mercy and hope. From this hardship, a remarkable figure emerged: Moses. Though raised in Pharaoh's palace, surrounded by luxury and power, he never forgot his true heritage as an Israelite. Torn between two worlds, Moses grew up witnessing the suffering of his people, feeling the weight of their pain and the injustice that ruled their lives.
One day, while tending sheep far from the city, God spoke to me from a burning bush that blazed with holy fire but was not consumed. In that sacred moment, I was given a mission: confront Pharaoh, the most powerful man in the world, and demand freedom for my people, the Israelites. The task seemed impossible, but the voice of God filled me with purpose.
Though filled with doubt and fear, Moses' faith began to grow. He knew he could not do this alone. With his brother Aaron by his side, he returned to the land of his birth, not as a prince, but as a messenger of God. Together, they walked toward Egypt's mighty gates, armed only with courage and a message that would challenge an empire.
Moses, you will not go alone. I will be your voice and support. Whatever fears you have, I will share them. Together, we will face Pharaoh and speak for our people, trusting that we are not alone in this struggle.
Two brothers, not warriors, but men of faith and conviction, stood united against the overwhelming might of Egypt. Their hearts were steady, their resolve unbroken, as they prepared to deliver a message that would change history. The stage was set for a dramatic confrontation, a battle between Pharaoh's pride and the unwavering faith of a people longing for hope, freedom, and a future beyond the desert sands. Moses and Aaron entered Pharaoh's court, demanding, "Let my people go."
Who is this God? I will not let Israel go.
Pharaoh's heart was hard. He increased the Israelites' burdens, making their suffering worse.
Moses, is this freedom? Things are only harder.
Lord, why have you sent me if things only get worse?
God reassured Moses. Pharaoh's refusal was part of a greater plan.
We must trust in God's promise, even when the way is hidden.
Each plea was met with Pharaoh's stubbornness, setting the stage for a confrontation that would shake Egypt. In the ancient land of Egypt, a series of extraordinary events began to unfold. Events that would shake the kingdom to its core. God unleashed a sequence of plagues upon Egypt, each more severe than the last. The first sign was the Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, turning to blood. Fish perished in droves. The water became foul and undrinkable, and panic spread among the people. Yet, despite the suffering, Pharaoh's heart remained unmoved, hardened against the pleas of his people.
By God's command, I strike the Nile, so all may witness his power and know that he alone is Lord.
But the plagues did not end there. Frogs swarmed the land, invading homes and palaces. Gnats and flies followed, filling the air and tormenting the Egyptians day and night. Yet, in the land of Goshen, where the Israelites lived, there was peace. God spared his people from these afflictions.
Plead with your God to stop this, and I'll let your people go. Just end our suffering.
Each time relief came, Pharaoh broke his promise. Disease struck the livestock, leaving the fields empty and the people hungry. Painful boils erupted on the skin of Egyptians, afflicting young and old alike, but still Pharaoh would not yield. Then came hail, pounding the crops and shattering the hopes of harvest. Swarms of locusts descended, devouring what little remained, leaving devastation in their wake. Yet, even as his kingdom crumbled, Pharaoh refused to yield, his pride unbroken.
The land is ruined, my lord. Our people suffer. Should we not let them go before all is lost?
Then, a supernatural darkness fell over Egypt for 3 days. No light pierced the gloom, and fear gripped the hearts of all. Still, Pharaoh's pride endured, and he would not release the Israelites.
Leave my presence. If you see me again, it will be your death. I will not be threatened.
Pharaoh's stubborn defiance sealed his fate. The stage was set for the final, most devastating plague, a judgment that would change Egypt forever. God warned of the final and most devastating plague, the death of every Egyptian firstborn. The air was thick with fear and anticipation as night fell over Egypt, and a sense of dread settled on every household. This was a night unlike any other, a night that would change the course of history for both Egyptians and Israelites alike.
God gave us a way to be saved, a sign of hope in the darkness. We were told to sacrifice a spotless lamb, to mark our doors with its blood, and to trust in his promise of protection. As we gathered our families and watched the blood stain the wood, our hearts pounded with both fear and faith, clinging to the hope that God would keep his word.
The angel of death swept silently through the land, but when it saw the blood on our doorposts, it passed over our homes. Our children were spared, and we knew that God's power and mercy were with us that night.
All across Egypt, a cry of grief and anguish rose up as families discovered their loss. Even Pharaoh, proud and mighty, was broken by sorrow in his grand palace. The pain was too great to bear, and at last, he relented.
Take your people and leave, now! Pharaoh's voice thundered with both anger and defeat, his will finally shattered by the suffering of his people.
We left in haste, gathering our belongings and our loved ones, barely daring to believe that freedom was truly within our grasp. The night that began in fear was ending in hope.
The Egyptians, desperate for us to go, gave us gifts of gold, silver, and precious goods as we departed. It was as if the wealth of Egypt was handed to us in exchange for our years of suffering. Our long night of slavery was finally over.
Guided by God's promise, the Israelites marched out of Egypt at dawn, leaving behind centuries of bondage. With every step, we moved closer to a new future, a future shaped by faith, freedom, and the hope of a promised land. The story of Moses and Pharaoh is a lesson in faith and humility. Moses' courage wasn't the absence of fear, but the willingness to trust and act. Pharaoh's pride blinded him, leading to his downfall. The Israelites' faith, painting lamb's blood on their doors, was an act of trust that saved them. Faith often requires action, even when the outcome is uncertain. This ancient story reminds us humility, courage, and belief can overcome even the darkest night. The light of faith endures, guiding us through our own trials.